Hi, this is David Feakes of the Parents Estate Planning Law Firm, and today's video is another in our series of answers to our clients' frequently asked question. And today's question is one we get very commonly, and that is, do I need to provide an allowance for the people I'm naming to serve as guardians of my children or our children? And the short answer is no, you don't need to. You could provide for that. That's certainly possible, but you don't need to provide for that, in the sense that when you have minor children, whether you're leaving money for the benefit of those children through your will or more commonly through a trust, the assets of that trust will be available to pay all of the expenses and the needs of your children. So you don't necessarily need to provide a specific allowance to your children because, again, the trust assets will be available to pay for whatever expenses are incurred in the care of your children. Things like food and clothing and education and health care and dance lessons and soccer lessons and summer camp and college, all of those things, all of those expenses can be paid for using the assets of the trust, whether your standalone trust or the trust that's created in your will, and the person you name to manage those assets for your kids until they are old enough to receive those assets directly, that person who will be a trustee will have the power and the authority and the discretion to use resources you've left behind for the benefit of your kids. So if a guardian incurs expenses in the care of your kids, your guardian can be reimbursed by the trustee who's managing resources for your kids for any expenses that your guardians incur. Now, having said that, what a lot of clients would want to do is to create a bank account that their trustee could fund and their guardian would have access to for the kinds of expenses that show up over and over and over again. Things like groceries and clothing and common day-to-day expenses. And very often, guardians and a trustee will agree on an amount that's going to be funded into that account, usually on a monthly basis, and that can serve as a kind of an allowance. But don't worry about creating a very specific allowance in your will or in your trust for your guardian, because again, the resources in your trust are going to be available to take care of all of those kinds of expenses for your children.